Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are bringing you our customer's 22 GMC Denali HD. Duramax power, all the gears in the transmission, all the torques, all the speed. What it doesn't have is all them shocks. And that is what we do. So today we're installing a set of Fox 2.5-inch remote resi shocks. We're doing Cognito upper control arms, and we're doing a set of torsion keys with lift blocks in the rear. This customer is a repeat customer. We did the airbag system on it and onboard air. So stick around and let's get this thing riding like a Cadillac, even though it's a GMC.
Click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you would like more content, follow social media at CodyCrafted on Instagram.
Alright, so my lift isn't quite stout enough for this truck. They rated it 9,000 pounds, but I'll be real honest with you, I don't like putting stuff that big on here. You know, half-ton stuff feels a little sketchy sometimes. So when we get moved into the new shop here in a couple of months, we're going to get a 12,000 pound two-post that's extra tall and extra wide, because I think the first project coming through there is an ambulance. So yeah, I'm going to need it. But for right now, jack stands. So is what it is. Don't have much to say in the matter. First thing, as always, grab a tape measure, check our current ride height with our current wheel and tire. So right now, since we have these handy markers, we're going to call it 42.5 to the side marker in the front, and 43.25 on this side. Wow, we'll see if we can't resolve that too. So we started tearing things down. We got the stock shock removed and the load off of the suspension. Getting ready to unload the torsion bar. Just want to show you your shock versus the shock she tells you not to worry about. So we got our parts kind of laid out here. Cognito upper control arms, Cognito steering braces, Cognito torsion bar keys, of course a set of Fox 2.5s. These are the fronts. The rears are laid are in the box, and we got work to do, man. Got work to do. Yahtzee! Tell you what, gang, these are some pretty serious brakes. That's better. Tell you what, 3/4 tons way easier than the half tons. The half tons, you got to pull the strut or the coilover shock, and yeah, these go bye bye. And back in with these beautiful bastards. Yeah. Let's see if we gotta fight them. Oh, Cognito, you magnificent bastards. This is why you buy quality parts, folks. It slipped right in, but I'll tell you, I did have to fight the powder coat on the arms a little bit for where the grease fittings go in. They were a little goopier than I would have liked. We're gonna, as always, snug these up at right height, not right now. What I think I'm gonna do, I got two options here. I can put the shock in and use it as a droop stop, or I could take a second jack and work on the control arm with it. I think where we're at right now, I think I'll probably just go ahead and throw the shock in. So let's go ahead and get that going. party. Let's see. Let's check our instructions. Clamps, those are cool. Those are new, I haven't seen those before. These new orange foxes are a little slicker than the 2.0s, that's for sure. You need to use the supplied hardware and reservoir mounting bracket. One reservoir Make sure the hoses are facing outward and towards the front. Alright, cool. Stickers. So, from this seam, we need to go 3 inches. Well, somehow we got shorted on our hardware on our Fox stuff, so I had to run to Tractor Supply. The washers that were available for 1/2 inch are this big around, and that's a little huge. And they don't have any of the smaller washers, but they do have machinery bushings at Tractor Supply in 1/2 inch size. So that makes for a very nice small head that gives us some protection. But it doesn't take up so much room. So if we have room on the top for the 1/2 inchy boys, then I'll do it. But I bought a package for $2 of machinery bushings, and there's like a dozen of them. So that's cool. But now what we need to do is hang a shock. So according to our instructions, we need to be hoses out and forward. So this side goes here. So we're gonna flip our arm up and try to not scratch these all to hell while slipping them down inside here. So that'll kind of go like that. While we're doing that, we actually can lower this by quite a bit. So let's take some pressure off it. Let's roll that guy that way. It gives us a lot more room to work. So that's gonna slip like that. That's gonna go like that. Yeah, buddy. Let's go a little lower. Okay. Alright. I'm down with that. Yes. Very pretty. So in order to get these to jive, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our lower bolt in first. Okay. And then, so we don't have to fight all this stuff, our resi hose is going to go this way. I'm being real careful not to scratch this too much, I promise. There we go. That's how it sits. Okay, so that's going to sit like that. And we're going to go ahead and we can get our control arm started. All I'm doing is just starting the nut on the bottom with like a thread or two. Well, 2 threads, basically. Okay, so now our shock is going to ride. So we got our 1/2 inch bolts. Fox did offer to send me the hardware, but it wouldn't have done me a lot of good. So I called him and was like, "Hey, what size bolts are these? Because I got the shaft." Okay, those dudes are snug. Alright, so that one's in. or it was. Okay. Jeez Louise. Maybe I should have bought 1.5 inches. Okay, now that one won't fall out. Man, there's nothing better than all this schmutz that GM puts on the frames. Blah. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this all tidied up because we're just sitting here burning battery with me grunting. So, that's not necessary. So anyways, I'll tidy this up and we'll check back with you in a second.
This truck very big.
This truck is very big. And I wanted to show the viewers at home scale. So here's your average size 4-year-old as a point of reference for the size of these shocks. Hey Wilson, what can you do when you put Fox shocks on your truck?
Jump.
Jump, that's right.
Like this.
Oh, you can jump like this?
Yeah.
This truck's so big you can jump inside the tire well? Or what do you want to drive when you grow up?
The Jeep.
A what Jeep?
The whole Jeep.
The Hulk Jeep? The Hulk Jeep? That Hulk Jeep over there?
No.
That one over there?
Yes.
Okay, what is special about the Hulk Jeep? It's super
Yes.
fast. That's right. Alright, so driver's side's all done. I'm going to knock out the passenger side off camera. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, we'll take this. One of the main benefits of doing this, number one, the ride quality from the Foxes is amazing. But if you'll look, we're at 17 inches to the center of the hub. The jack stands are at the same height. My floor is relatively level. And we're at 18.5 on the stock setup. So that gives you an extra 1.5 inches of down travel. And you may not think that that means a whole lot. But what you've got to keep in mind is that that is 1.5 inches of the wheel moving and maintaining traction while you're trying to travel off-road. That is also an extra 1.5 inches of control of the motion of the wheel, because remember, springs support the weight, shocks control the motion. So that extra 1.5 inches or so of wheel travel makes a dramatic difference. You're also going to get a little bit more up travel with this setup just because of the way the shock and the control arm are designed. And always, you know, you're not maxing out your ball joint angle. Hopefully the light will pick up. There we go. You're not maxing out the angle on the ball joint, either at droop or at full bump. And you've got a secondary bump stop on the shock in addition to your factory bump. So it matters. It really does. And even when it comes down to like heavy dips in the road, that motion is controlled not only, you know, from full droop like jumping, but that motion is also controlled on the way up. So if you were to go through a big dip in the road, it gives the shock that much longer to slow down the wheel motion so that it doesn't top out the shock and maintains that ride quality. So I'm always a big fan of not only a quality shock, but anytime you can add wheel travel, makes a big difference. I got work to do. All right, after a very sweaty couple hour or two, we got our rear suspension all done. Let me shut this thing off so you guys can hear me a little better. So we got our control arms greased and everything is torqued, and our rear shocks are in, and I threw a set of 1-inch blocks. Set of 1-inch blocks to give it a little bit of that rake back so that he doesn't have to run more air pressure to hurt the ride quality. So we're gonna run this thing to alignment and then customer's gonna pick it up. But I'll tell you what, man, this one and then the King Ranch F250, which is actually this guy's boss, Probably the nicest like daily driver, tow rig, all in all trucks I've dealt with in a very long time. Our shop truck's pretty cool, but it doesn't ride super nice for some reason. I don't know why. It's got all the nice stuff on it, but this thing's definitely got more creature comforts than my work truck with big shocks, that's for sure. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us for this one. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, what is this? What? What?